Hello everybody, hope all of you are well. Today I will start a new chapter of organic chemistry. The name of the chapter is aldehyde, ketones and carboxylic acids. Okay. Now in this chapter we will study the chemistry of organic compounds containing carbon oxygen double bond. Okay, this is carbon oxygen double bond and this is called carbonyl group, which is one of the most important functional group in organic chemistry. The classes of organic compounds contains this carbonyl group as functional groups are aldehydes, ketones and carboxylic acids and their derivatives. These are collectively known as carbonyl compounds. So in case of aldehyde, we have to write that RCHO. This one is the aldehyde. And both sides of carbonyl group there is R. Then it is called ketone. And one side R in another side OH. Then it is called carboxylic acid. Now these carboxylic acids may have different derivatives. Okay, there may be RCOX or RCOCl, RCOBr. This is called acid halide. Acid halide. If the one side there is RCOOR, then it is called esters. Like ethyl acetate, methyl acetate. Okay. If there is RCONH2, then it is called amide. And if there is RC double bond O, C double bond R dot, this is called anhydride, acid anhydride. Okay, so these are the derivatives of carboxylic acids. Hope you can understand. Next we will discuss the structure and nature of the carbonyl group. Actually, this carbon oxygen bond, double bond, there is one sigma and another is pi bond. Okay. And according to the molecular orbital theory, the carbonyl carbon is sp2 hybridized and the 3 sp2 hybrid orbital are used in making 3 sigma bonds. It results in a planar structure and the carbonyl carbon is left with one unhybridized partially filled p orbital, and this orbital forms a pi bond by sideway overlap with the partially filled p orbital of oxygen atom. If I draw the structure, then you can understand. This is carbon, sp2 hybridized, there are 3 hybrid orbitals, and another is oxygen, this is also sp2 hybridized. Now this hybrid orbital is overlapped by hydrogen and one partially filled p orbital of carbon and oxygen will sideway overlap. Okay, and this is called sigma bond and this is called pi bond. And these hybrid orbitals contains 2 lone pair of electrons. Okay, now in this carbonyl group, above and below, okay, there will be pi electron cloud. This is the pi electron cloud. Okay. Now this one is the sigma and this is the pi. Now here, what will be the bond angle? in each case the bond angle will be 120 degree. Here also 120 degree, here also 120 degree. Okay. Now the oxygen atom in the carbonyl group is more electronegative and so more electronegative than carbon, and so it will attract the bonding pair electron or electron cloud towards itself. This causes the polarization of the carbon oxygen bond, and the carbon becomes slightly positively charged and the oxygen becomes slightly negative charged. If I draw the structure, then you can easily understand that this carbon oxygen bond, oxygen will be more electronegative, it will attract the bonding pair electron towards itself. So this cloud will be towards this oxygen. This is partial electronegative charge and this will be partial electronegative charge. That is why this bond will become polar, and this center contains 2 electrons also, 2 lone pair of electrons. So this is called nucleophile, or it can act as a Lewis basis as it is delta positive in carbon. So it is electrophile and can act as Lewis acid. So this one is called Lewis base, and this center can act as Lewis acid. Okay. So that means this one is electrophilic, this one is nucleophilic. Okay. So thus the carbonyl group is polar in nature, and that is why the aldehyde and ketones have a larger dipole moments. Now the high polarity of this carbonyl group can also be explained on the basis of the resonance. There is also chance of resonance. So only 2 resonance structure is possible. This will shift here, will be positive charge, and will be negative charge. So because of this resonance structure, okay, the polarity of the CO bond will increase. Okay. Now if we compare the CO bond, that means carbonyl bond, and the carbon-carbon double bond, that is olefinic bond, then we can say that carbon-oxygen double bond is polar, but the carbon-carbon double bond is non-polar. Carbon-oxygen bond length will be shorter. Here the carbon-oxygen bond length will be 123 picometer. But if we think about the carbon-carbon double bond, in case of carbon-carbon double bond, the length will be 134 picometer. Okay, 134 picometer. Now carbonyl compounds undergo nucleophilic addition reaction because of this center delta positive. Okay, but carbon-carbon double bond generally undergo electrophilic addition reaction. So these are the comparison or difference between the CO bond, C double bond O bond, and C double bond C bond. Okay. Next we will discuss the method of preparation of aldehydes and ketones. Preparation of aldehydes and ketones. First we will discuss from alcohol. Aldehydes can be obtained by direct oxidation of primary alcohol with acidified dichromate. Okay, or we can use chromium trioxide or alkaline KMnO4. So here if we take any alcohol and if we add oxidizing agent like K2Cr2O7 H2SO4, that will convert into aldehyde. Okay, or if we take benzylic alcohol, we use the same oxidizing agent, then it will produce benzaldehyde. Okay, now the aldehydes formed in the above process are readily oxidized to carboxylic acid. So aldehydes are removed quickly from this reaction mixture by distillation to prevent further oxidation. You know that aldehydes are not so much stable, so this reagent will also oxidize aldehyde into acid. So better you have to take this aldehyde out from this reaction mixtures. So that is why you have to do fast distillation to remove this aldehyde. To prevent oxidation of aldehydes to carboxylic acids, a number of other reagents have been developed for selective oxidation of 1 degree alcohol or 2 degree alcohol to aldehydes, 1 degree alcohol to aldehydes and 2 degree alcohols to ketone. So first reagent we will discuss, that is called Collins reagent. COLLINS, Collins reagent. Now what is Collins reagent? It is chemically chromium trioxide pyridine complex, generally represented as CrO3 dot twice pyridine. Okay, and generally this reagent is used in DCM. DCM is one organic solvent that is called dichloromethyl. So here we can take one example so that we can easily understand. Suppose this one is one alcohol. Here we are using this Collins reagent, that is chromium trioxide pyridine, okay, twice pyridine in DCM, that will produce the aldehyde. Okay. Next we will discuss another reagent, that is called Porez reagent or pyridinium chlorochromate. Porez reagent or pyridinium chlorochromate. Okay. Now, what is PCC? This is called also PCC, pyridinium chlorochromate, short form. Okay. Now it is chromium trioxide, pyridine and HCl. Chromium trioxide, pyridine and HCl. So generally this reagent is prepared by taking this pyridine, chromium trioxide and HCl in 1:1:1 ratio in DCM, dichloromethyl. So here we have to use the solvent DCM. So now this also we can use for the oxidation of 1 degree alcohol. Okay, suppose if we take this alcohol, if we use this PCC in DCM, then it will convert into aldehyde. Okay, or even we can take that alpha beta unsaturated cyclic alcohol. Here the double bond will become unaffected. Use the same reagent PCC and DCM, then there will be formation of ketone compound. Okay, because it is 2-degree alcohol. Okay, in this way we can convert 1 degree alcohol to aldehyde by using this PCC reagent and 2 degree alcohol to ketone. Next we will discuss another very important reagent, that is called Jones reagent. So next we will discuss Jones reagent. Jones reagent is a solution of chromium trioxide in sulfuric acid in aqueous acetone. It oxidizes 1 degree alcohol to aldehyde at room temperature, and this reagent is very selective and does not attack the double bond or triple bond. Okay, suppose if we take one allylic alcohol or allyl alcohol, if we use this Jones reagent, that means chromium trioxide sulfuric acid mixture, and here we have to take that acetone and water mixture, there is a solvent. and temperature we can keep 273 Kelvin to 293 Kelvin. Then there will be formation of acraldehyde. Acraldehyde, or it is called acrolein. Okay. So in this way we can use this reagent also to prepare the aldehyde without affecting the carbon-carbon double bond. Next we can use another very important reagent, that is active MnO2. Freshly prepared MnO2, okay, generally becomes active, and here also we can use the solvent DCM. So we take this allylic alcohol also and active MnO2 in presence of DCM, that will also produce the acrolein. Here also carbon-carbon double bond becomes unaffected, and one of the most advantage, okay, of this reaction is that it takes place under mild condition and neutral condition at room temperature. Just by filtration you will get the corresponding product in DCM. Okay, just you evaporate the DCM, you will get the your desired compound. Okay. Now ketones are prepared by the oxidation of secondary alcohol. So if we take the secondary alcohol and if you use that potassium dichromate and sulfuric acid, here also you will get the corresponding ketone. Okay, if you take one cyclic structure, that means cyclohexanol, if you use the same reagent, here also you will get the cyclohexanol, the corresponding ketone, because these are the secondary alcohol. Now one very important reaction, that is open-Ur oxidation. By this open-Ur oxidation also we can produce ketone. Okay. Now this reaction involves a reversible reaction of a secondary alcohol and acetone in presence of aluminium isopropoxide, and the secondary alcohol is oxidized to ketone while acetone is reduced to isopropyl alcohol. So here we have to take one secondary alcohol. Then we have to take acetone, and this reaction is called open-Ur oxidation. Okay. Then we will take the aluminium isopropoxide. Whole 3Al. Okay. Then it will produce the corresponding ketone from this alcohol, and acetone will be converted to isopropyl alcohol. Okay. So this reaction is called open-Ur oxidation, and this is a reversible reaction. If we take these two and use this aluminium isopropoxide, then we will get the reverse product. Okay. And if we take some cyclic system, here also this double bond will not be affected. Okay. Here we have to use the same reagent, acetone plus aluminium isopropoxide, that will convert to ketone plus formation of isopropyl alcohol. Okay. Now Collins reagent as well as pyridium chlorochromium, that is PCC, can also oxidize 2-degree alcohol into ketones selectively in presence of carbon-carbon double bond. Okay. So in this way we can prepare by this alcohol oxidation method primary alcohol into aldehyde and secondary alcohol into ketone. Next we will discuss the catalytic dehydrogenation of primary alcohols. Okay. So if we take RCH2OH and we have to give copper, and temperature here we have to maintain 573 Kelvin, then it will convert into the corresponding alcohol RCHO plus H2. Now if we take one secondary alcohol, if we use the same reagent, then there will be formation of ketone plus hydrogen. The dehydrogenation is a better method because there is no chance of further oxidation. Okay. Next we will discuss the formation of aldehyde or ketone by ozonolysis of alkenes. Next we will discuss the ozonolysis method. Lysis of alkenes. So if we take one alkene, if we give ozone, then there will be formation of ozonite. Then we have to give zinc water, and if we apply heat, there will be elimination of hydrogen peroxide and formation of ketone. Okay, so in this way we also can prepare the ketone. If we take the ethylene, then we can prepare aldehyde. Ethylene ozonite. Then we have to use zinc water, apply heat. Then we will get 2 formaldehydes plus H2O2. Okay, so this is another method for preparation of aldehyde and ketones. Next we will discuss from alkynes. From alkynes. So if we take acetylene, here we have to give that HgSO4 and dilute H2SO4 plus water, HgSO4 and dilute H2SO4. Then there will be addition of CH, CHOH, H. Okay, and this is unstable, and this will convert into the corresponding aldehyde, this acetaldehyde. This one is unstable. So in this way, from acetylene we can prepare aldehyde, and this is also one type of rearrangement. Okay. Now if we take the propyne, okay, we use the same reagent, HgSO4 and H2SO4. Then we will get the product CHOH, and then this product will rearranged, okay, because it is unstable, to acetone. So in this way we can prepare the corresponding aldehyde and ketone from alkynes. Next we will discuss from carboxylic acids, aldehydes and ketones. Okay, aldehydes and ketones can be prepared by heating a mixture of formic acids or other acids with manganese oxide. that is MNO as catalyst. Suppose if we take the formic acid HCOOH plus HCOOH, and if we take the MNO and 573 Kelvin, then there will be formation of formaldehyde plus carbon dioxide plus water. Okay, but here if we take that acetic acid, then it will produce acetaldehyde. Okay, CH3CHO, sorry, CH3COOH plus HCOOH. We use same reagent, then there will be formation of acetaldehyde plus carbon dioxide plus water. But if we take two molecules of acetic acid, that is CH3COOH plus CH3COOH, and if we use the same reagent, then there will be formation of ketone, that is CH3COCH3 plus carbon dioxide plus water. Okay, so aldehydes and ketones can also be formed by distillating the calcium salt of acids. So if we take the calcium salt of formic acid, that is the HCOOCA, then if we distill at 675 Kelvin, then there will be formation of formaldehyde, okay, plus calcium carbonate. But if we take the calcium acetate, okay, if we distill calcium acetate, then what will be the product? The product will be acetaldehyde. If we take CH3COOCA, okay, plus another molecule of calcium formate we have to take, CaOOCH. If we distill at 675 Kelvin, then there will be formation of acetaldehyde plus formation of calcium carbonate. Next, if we take the only calcium acetate, that means two molecules of calcium acetate, only calcium acetate we take, then if we distill at 675 Kelvin, then there will be formation of acetate. But if we take the benzoic acid calcium salt, that is the calcium benzoate, and if we take another salt of calcium, that is the calcium formate, if we distill, we will get the benzaldehyde. So in this way we can prepare the aldehydes and ketones by distillating the calcium salt of acids. But here the yield is very low or poor, because in this preparation of mixed ketones there may be mixture of products. Okay, so hope you can understand the preparation of aldehydes and ketones. So today up to this, and next day we will discuss the other methods of preparation of aldehyde and ketone. Okay, so today up to this, thank you.